Kafka's The Trial always fascinated me. It seems to strike chords in so many different people for so many different reasons and is interpreted in so many different ways. It seems for some people to be about totalitarianism, about bureaucracy, about nihilism, or even about madness, or even about paranoia. It seems to touch a kind of core of human nature, which is in a way universal. And Kafka had this ability to be universal, to be in a way so simple, so direct, and at the same time profound. And that's a very rare quality, and I think it's something to do with his culture, his education, and his enormous imagination, and his ability to take a subject and to really put a searing, clear, powerful eye, like a kind of magnifying glass on it. And we see things crawling around in society that we never would normally see.
After all, I must keep my house respectable in the interests of my lodgers. They get arrested and don't know why.
No need to believe in the worst until it happens.
What did those men mean about being drawn towards the guilty?
In order to work, I did what many actors do. I took a teaching job at Webber Douglas. And I taught mime and movement there. And then the director of Webber Douglas School of Drama, Ralph Jago, said, well, now, would you like to do a production, one of your, in a way, more experimental productions with these students? So the first thing I thought of is what could I do just with students as an experiment? So I picked up the novel because there were 20 students in the class. Plays didn't have 20 characters in them. So I picked up the novel, opened the first page, and it says, somebody must have been lying about Joseph K., for without having done anything wrong, he was arrested one fine morning. And I thought, let's act that out. And so we had the group of people acting out the scene. And that became the beginnings of my research into the book. And I'm very grateful to Webber Douglas School that allowed me to, in a way, flutter my early wings there. And then I settled down to write a form of play using the ensemble.
Somebody must have been lying about Joseph K.
For without having done anything wrong,
He was arrested one fine morning.
His landlady, who always brought his breakfast at 8 o'clock, failed to appear.
That had never happened before.
At that time, I was really fascinated with a lot of experiments that were going on and coming from American theatre. And there was a great dance company called Alwyn Nicolais, Greek-American, and he used the most extraordinary props and created with these props images which were unforgettable. Whether it's stretched material or balloons or sticks or ropes. And in one particular dance piece, because he was dance choreographer, he used covered screens. And with these screens, as they changed, they became different environments, different settings. As they opened, it revealed a room. As they closed, it would shut the scene off. So we decided, let's also use screens. And so we made our own set of screens, which we were then going to cover, play the scenes, and then open the screens, reveal the scenes, close the scene off. As we made the screens, of course, were empty, like empty window frames. And we sat them on short wooden or metal legs. And as we walked through the screen, something very, very strange seemed to happen. It was a curious playing with it. We found that the screens, if you went behind the screens, you could pretend you were masked by it, although they were empty. Or it was solid. And if you walk through the screen, it could be a corridor. If you spread the screens, it could be the bank where everybody worked in their little screen. If you put them upright in different positions, they were a room in the boarding house. So the screen became, in a way, a fourth dimension. It became a way of expressing the play through the screen, that the screen was not only facilitate the development of the scene and of the book, but it seemed to be a key. We found the key to the book. It was the door that Kafka tries to get through. In the book, it's revealed at the end of the book as the priest tells the story of the door. It's almost like it's a strange and intriguing mythic story. It's almost like a Buddhist story of a man who stands before the door, waiting for the door to open. This is the door to the law. And the doorkeeper says he cannot open the door just yet, but if he waits, it may open. And the man waits. He waits for years. He gets older and goes grey, and eventually asks the doorman, why did you never open the door? And the doorman says, well, the door was intended only for you. I am now going to shut it. So that's a strange story. How does he know the door was intended? Well, it's one of those mysteries. You know, if you come to a door, don't always take what people say as gospel. Perhaps that's what Kafka's saying. And the fear that Kafka felt in his life, I think, was represented and symbolized in this extraordinary work. And so I thought that the mime that I had been learning would suit the trial almost more than any other work I had done till then. And we were blessed with the music of Mark Glentworth, who, again, this is a further key. So the keys are the music and the setting which we found, which was the door, the screen. Before the door stands the doorkeeper. And in this production, I played Titorelli, the court painter, whom I based on Salvador Dali, that seemed appropriate for the play. And I hope that you will find this particular production stimulating and exciting.